I was picking the cracks in the tiles which paved the pathway and stared aimlessly at the club's building. Just a few more seconds before I have to come up with some decision. That's when I caught myself rolling on the grass weeping. I cringed in disgust. Perhaps it's another instinct. When all energy for whimpering and self-pity is used up, the body either goes into hibernation or mobilizes its reserves. Mine seemed to have chosen the second option, because out of the blue, I got this determination to figure out what was going on. And in order to do that, I had to act like a man, like a human, to maintain the dignity of a representative of my own world. I followed the path to the left and to the right, of which stood small cabins, apparently homes of the local pioneers. Actually, they looked quite cozy from the outside. Even though I was born in the Soviet Union, I've never been part of a children's organization, neither the pioneers nor even the younger October children. I imagined the daily life of a typical pioneer camp a bit different. Huge barracks with long rows of metal bunks, wake-up calls at 6 o'clock, played by a siren, 1 minute to make your bed and join the formation at the drill square. Oh wait, could I be confusing it with something else? I was suddenly hit on the back. I staggered but remained to my feet, turned around and prepared to become a hero on while fighting for my life. But all I found was another girl standing before me. My mouth hung open in surprise. "Pick your jaw up the floor." I closed my mouth. Same pioneer uniform, but it looked, let's say, provocative the way she was wearing it. Like all the girls I'd met here before, this one was rather cute, but her overly arrogant expression killed any desire to get to know her better. "So, you're new here?" "Fine, see ya." She dashed a threatening glance at me and walked past. I waited for the pioneer girl to turn at the corner. Who knows what else she might have been up to. The most interesting thing was that even this hostile girl seemed completely normal to me. She did not give the feeling of some deadly danger. Except maybe the danger of getting punched in the nose. At last, I managed to make it to the square. There was no lane-in on the armored car, although one could really expect something like that after all that had happened. Instead, however, a monument to a certain comrade towered in the middle of the square. The letters on the pedestal read, "Gender." Must be some big figure of the party. There were small benches at the sides. It's quite cozy here. Where did that girl tell me to go? To the left or to the right? To the left, to right, to left, to right. And why am I going there anyway? Ah, right. I decided to pretend to be normal. So, to the right. Through a small grove. I walked to a pier. I must have taken a wrong turn. "Oh, wrong way." I turned towards the voice. That first girl stood before me. "I did tell you to turn left from the square, and where have you gone?" She changed from a pioneer uniform to a bikini. "Oh, I still haven't introduced myself. My name is Slavia. Actually, the full name is Slaviana, but everyone calls me Slavia." "So can you?" Yeah. I still feel a bit confused, so I could not come up with more meaningful answers. "And what's your name?" I felt like she could see right through me. Semyon." "Nice to meet you, Semyon." "Alright, I'm almost done here. Could you wait here a minute? I'm going to change and we're going to Olga Dmitrievna's together. Agreed?" "Agreed." She ran off after these words and I sat on the pier and let my feet hang into the water. I was wearing heavy winter boots, but in such weather there could nothing wrong in getting my feet wet. Furthermore, it let me cool myself a little. Looking at the river, I was brainstorming, processing everything that has happened. If this is some kind of conspiracy, it's a weird one, even too friendly at times. No, It really looks more like a random event. Some entirely incomprehensible random event. Shall we go? Slavia was standing beside me, dressed in a pioneer uniform again. Let's go. I've been here a very short time, but of all the people I've met, she looks the least suspicious. However, this fact is already suspicious itself. We walk to the square. The USSR girl and the girl who hit me on the back were there chasing each other. It's some kind of game they're playing. Ulyana, enough running! I tell everything to Olga Dmitrievna. Aye, Captain. I decided not to question Slavia for a while about what was going on and about the local residents. Better first reach this mysterious Olga Dmitrievna. Sounds like she's the boss here. We were walking past the rows of almost identical cabins, some of which looked like fat beer barrels, while others looked more like household sheds. Finally, Slavia stopped in front of a smallish, one-story cabin. It looked like an artist's painting. The fading paint, chipped here and there with age, was sparkling in the sun. The window's shutters slightly ajar, were swaying in the wind almost unnoticeably, and huge lilac bushes were growing on the sides. It seemed as if this ramshackle hut was drowning in the velvet purple storm, and the lilacs, like some elemental force, were inexorably destroying the troop leader's house. What are you standing for? Let's go! Slavia took me out of my daydreams. And stop teasing Lena already! Rena? Sounds like there's someone inside. Indeed, a moment later the door swung open, and Ulyana ran out and dashed past with the same mischievous grin. The pigtailed girl went out next. Don't get upset about her, Lena. So, her name's Lena. Gotta be thankful it's not Rena at last. But I don't. She didn't finish her phrase, blushed and quickly headed towards the square. For some reason I felt like turning around and following her with my eyes, but Slavia said, Come! We entered the cabin. Inside looked something similar to what I imagined. 2 beds, a table, a couple of chairs, a simple carpet on the floor, a wardrobe. Nothing special, but at the same time it felt home-like and cozy, although this room was almost in the same stage of disorder as my own flat. A girl standing near the window appeared to be about 25 years old. The nature obviously gifted her with a pretty face and a good body. At least one thing you can happy in this pandemonium: the locals are beautiful. You're finally here. Excellent. My name is Olga Dmitrievna. I'm the camp leader. Nice to meet you. I'm Sermon. I decided to talk as if we weren't surprised by anything that was going on. She came closer. We've been waiting for you since the early morning. You've been waiting for me? Yes, of course. And when does the next bus come? And why do you need it? Yeah, right. Why would I need it? Guess I shouldn't ask direct questions. The people here may react to them quite unlike what I prefer. And I doubt I'd get any answers. No reason, just curious. By the way, where are we exactly? Oh, mailing address I mean. I wanted to send a letter to my parents to tell them I got you all fine. For some reason, I had the desperate idea that if I played along it would find something out. No, but your parents gave a call just half an hour ago. Sent their regards to you. Now, that is a surprise. So, can I call them? Because I forgot to tell them something before I left. No. She gave me a sweet and natural smile. Why not? You don't have a phone here. Then how could my parents make the call here? I've just come back from the director's central town. It's there. I've just come back from the district central town. It's there that I talked with him. Ah, no, that's how it is. And can I somehow get to the town? No. She kept the same smile. Why not? Because the next bus only comes in a week. I decided not to inquire how the troop leader managed to get there and back. I would get no answer anyway. At the same time, Slavia was standing next to me and seemed to find nothing odd in our conversation. Oh, we need to find a uniform for you. I got absolutely no desire to put on the pioneer shorts or to wear the ridiculous red neckerchief. However, wearing winter clothes in summer is not a great idea either. Right, thank you. I wonder if I'm the only one here who finds it strange that someone's wearing a coat and winter boots in such heat. Right, I'll be off then, and you can get yourself acquainted with the camp. Don't forget to come to dinner in the evening. Having said that, she walked out the cabin. No, walked is not the right word. She rushed out. I was now alone with Slavia. I must go too. Got things to do. Have a walk, look around the camp a bit. See you in the evening. If there was no catch or menace to that, then this reality in the person of Slavia becomes more and more something to be fond of. For the first time today, I realized that it was awfully hot here. Although obviously my winter clothes were to blame for that. I took off my coat and dropped it onto the bed. My pullover went after. I was now wearing only the t-shirt. That's much better. All I could do now was follow the advice and go look around the camp. I tried to find something out in the meanwhile. Passing the local residential district, I saw a pioneer guy come on my way. And it was really a pioneer guy, not a pioneer girl. Apparently there were men even in this Amazon's kingdom. Hello, you're new here. You must be Semyon, right? And how do you? Everyone knows already. I'm electronic, by the way. The real one. You can call me that. Electronic. The real one. Things were going from crazy to completely insane. Alright. Uliana also calls me Cheese. Cheese? Why not cauliflower? Because my last name is Shishkov. I see. Let me show you around. I accepted his offer, as it would have been much longer to get to know this place alone. Fine, let's go. We came back to the square again, as if there were no other places to go in this camp. Lena was sitting on one of the benches reading some book. Electronic confidentially approached her. Hello Lena, meet the new guy Semyon. He started briskly. Hello. Well, you could say we already met in a way. Yes? She looked away from the book for a moment, glanced at me, blushed and went back to reading, as if not noticing that we were still here. Alright, let's go. I was at first surprised that meeting this girl was reduced to a couple of words, but then I thought that it was better that way. Electronics' vigorous activity did not fit well with Lena's shyness. Let's go. Next we came to a building, which I instantly identified as the canteen. This is here? I know, this is where you consume organic food. Yeah, something like that. On the canteen's porch, there stood the unfriendly girl who hit me on the back earlier. Out of sight, my joking mood vanished in the blink of an eye. Really, now it's not the best time to pull this guy's leg, even though he's quite hilarious. First, I need to figure out what's what here, and at least where am I? Her? Over there, that's Alisa Dvachevskaya. Be cautious around her. He was speaking in a whisper. Don't ever risk calling her Dvache. She doesn't like that. What did you say? What did you call me? She must have heard him. In a blink of an eye, Lisa jumped down from the porch and dashed towards us. Alright, you managed from me onwards. Electronic took to see her. Elisa running past, stopped for a moment and growled. I deal with you later. Deal with me? What did I do wrong? I added a forced guilty smile to my words. But what am I guilty of? She made no reply and went on chasing electronic. Looks like I have to kill my time alone, waiting for the dinner. I decided to go east. At least in the direction where the east would have been in my world. Soon after, I found myself near a football pitch. A game was in full swing there. I guess watching it for a bit wouldn't do any harm. In my childhood, in the teen years, I was not a bad player myself, and I even thought of going professional. But a few injuries in a row killed my desire to risk my health for the sake of uncertain chance in the game. Kids of different ages were running in the pitch. I could see a boy of about 10 and a girl of about 14 years old. Girl? Hey, that's Juliana. Alright, she plays football. What's so surprising? She seems a restless one after all. I was standing quite far from the pitch, but she noticed me. Hey you! Juliana shouted. Wanna play? I did not know what to answer. On the one hand, it's no big deal running for 10 minutes. On the other hand, any wrong move in my situation could be a final one. But in any case, my attire wasn't suitable for this weather. If I played in winter boots and warm jeans, I would sweat like a pig. And playing barefoot without jeans would be simply unethical. Maybe another time, alright? I shouted in response, then turned around and walked back. I was followed by Juliana's screams about my pants or about me being a pansy or something like that. The evening was falling, making me feel tired and empty after a day wasted for no real purpose. I came back to the square, sat down on the bench, and felt an exhausted sigh. I better sit here and wait for dinner. After all, it's easier to search for answers when you're not hungry. They do give food to people here, right? You know, it's curious how the simplest human needs can break the will to ponder on things, to strive for something. E.g., I feel hungry now, and I care much less about where I am or what has happened to me. Could great people also be affected by this? And in such case, how did Spartacus start a slaving uprising in ancient times? I can only conclude that I'm not a great person, and it does not really matter which mechanisms do I serve as gear: society, matrix, or weird pioneer camp. My thoughts were interrupted by the bells chiming at a loudspeaker on a light pole. It must be dinner call. I headed toward the canteen. It was a good thing that I knew where it was. Olga Dmitrievna was there, standing on the porch. I stopped and looked closely at her, as if I were expecting something. She looked back at me for a while, but at last came closer. Semyon, what are you waiting for? Come in already. Guess nothing bad can happen if I come with her. My stomach backed me up here.